Welcome to the School of Professional Design. I'm Donnie Tuttle, your guide to aligning your work with your unique professional design. I'm a professor at the School of Professional Design, and I am here to help you to unlock the professional life that you love and loves you back. So let's get out of the grind and play by your design.
Can I take you there?
We're looking at personalities, and what is your professional personality? We're going to be talking today about strategists. So I want you to imagine you were going on a road trip. The visionaries, they would say, oh, we could go to Europe, or we could go to Antarctica, or we could go watch the Northern Lights. And the visionaries they're floating in the clouds and thinking of all the possibilities. The unifiers, they are like, hey, let's all sing songs together. I've got the tracks and I know the hotels to stay at. And we're going to make this such an experience. It brings us closer together. You know, the pioneers, they're saying, oh, yeah, we're going to go on these back roads where no one else is. And we're going to create some cool scenarios that is just going to be the craziest, unique scenarios that anyone has ever gone to and been to. But the strategists are going to say, all right, guys, according to what we want, this is what we know is the best. We already know through Yelp and through all of the intelligence that's out there, the best stops along the way. We know what this group needs. And so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to pick everyone up at 8 o'clock tomorrow, and you're going to get into the car, and we're just like, I've already got the toll money set aside. I know the map. I know the way. And we're going to go. And Bob, you sit in the front seat. Timmy, you sit in the back. Donnie, you ride shotgun, and we'll switch driving every 4 hours. That's the strategist. The gift of a strategist as a professional is they give us structure to do things. The strategist, without the strategist, stuff wouldn't get done. Or if it did get done, it would be done in a way that probably didn't include evidence and proof and science and all of those types of things. Certainly, there wouldn't be any logic behind it. And definitely, there might be logic, but these guys definitely bring the logic. And definitely, without a strategist, there wouldn't be anyone to tell us what to do. And if we hit obstacles, the rest of us might turn around. So strategists, I'm going to break it down. That's the ruler, it's the hero, and it's the sage. And these are all a variation of the same person. And by the way, none of us are all of these things. And as you're looking at your personality design, remember that we like to take those top three that you have, and maybe all three of these are yours. Maybe you're just a hardcore strategist. Okay. But look at the top three, and usually in the top three, you're going to find one that you pretended to be so you could get what you needed or what you wanted. And you'll find two that have been with you for your whole life. It just is you to the core. Sometimes all three of them are absolutely you. So just be aware of that. I want you to, as we look at this, I'm going to show you your strengths and some of your blind spots, your tendencies we'll look at, and some ways that if you are in a profession or in business, some ways that you might want to adjust. Okay? The ruler. Okay, so the ruler is the authoritative person. They naturally have probably a lower voice. They sound like this. And the ruler, they talk in bullet points. If you could see my face, you would see that I'm making a very serious face. And a ruler these are the serious people. They're serious and authoritative and commanding and decisive. Their typical strengths, their innate strengths are it's leadership, it's responsibility, it's being in control. So if you're going somewhere that you don't know where you're going, you want a ruler with you. If you are confused at what to do, you want to follow a ruler, or as we may call them, a leader, right? If you are that person, you might typically want that from other people. If you find yourself always just wanting people to respect you, you might be a ruler. If you find yourself always trying to take charge, you might be a ruler. Now, if people aren't following you, you might not be good at the influence part, but you have that core, the heart of the ruler. Some of the blind spots of a ruler are they can be domineering. They can railroad you. Sometimes a ruler, because they want to get to victory. They want to get to a place where things are set up correctly. They're motivated by that. But if there is a threat of failure, you might be summoning a monster. They are sometimes resistant to feedback, and by summoning a monster, by the way, because their strength is a part of it is they're willing to confront disorder and problems. Sometimes they can come off as negative. So there are plenty of positive rulers, by the way, but you have a visionary ruler and you have a pragmatic ruler. We have multiple types of rulers, but a ruler can be demanding. They can be pushy. They can push people away. They can seem uncaring. Okay, so if these things sound like you might be a ruler. Now, if the ways that I would adjust my work pattern, if I were a ruler, if I were working with you one-on-one, and we were to say, hey, let's do these things in a way that's going to help you to be effective. Number one, I would say, for time management, use checklists. Okay. Number two, you need to, and I'm saying this nicely, use other people, or delegate, I guess is the better way to say it. But by delegating, you don't micromanage. Don't, just because you know more than other people, you need to be a trusting delegator. Okay. Also, do not become the answer. So when people want something, they want to get something, they want to know something, want to do it right, don't be the answer. Okay, be someone that trusts them to find the answer and provides a structure for them to find the answer. The real deal is that people, if they're always coming to you for the answer, that's because they're afraid of disappointing you by getting it wrong. So you have to be open to mistakes. And I know it drives you nuts. Rulers are great at spotting mistakes and all the things that are wrong, all the things that need fixing. Well, Mr. or Mrs. Ruler, fix one thing at a time. Fix the biggest thing, okay? Here's another effective work strategy. Use strategic planning. Use strategic planning. Don't solve everything. Find your big domino and knock that down. A lot of times that's going to bring other things. It's going to make other things happen. Find the thing that will cause a chain reaction, that you'll get the most bang for your buck, the most impact for your energy. Okay. Next, maintain open lines of communication. You may think you've been telling people things. Okay, that's probably half true. You might be telling them things, but do they understand it? Take time to let them tell you back. Okay? Take time to not just tell people what to do. Take time to let people tell you that they understand what to do. Take time to ask questions like, can we count on you for that? Can you commit to that? When will you do that? And so a ruler is best when not being directive, but it's you give your direction, and at the end of it, you give questions. Okay? A ruler is not someone that I want typically instructing people, unless you're on a stage. A ruler is typically not someone that is, if you are working one-on-one with people, I would probably keep it to a minimum. 3 to 4 people might be your max as a ruler. Otherwise, you're working with masses. You're saying things that the masses can digest. And so that might mean making a podcast or a lesson or something. But if you do the same thing over and over again, rulers typically do not like the tedium or tedious or the repetition. You'll do it for you, but you don't want to do it as it relates to others. Okay, rulers can be good managers for sure. If you're not a manager and you're a ruler, I want you to focus on being the kind of follower that you want one day. Be the kind of worker that you want to be on your team one day. Okay, so learning good followership is actually the best way to become a good leader. And boy, oh boy, do rulers have a healthy dose of ego. And so learning to have the ego, but also keep it in check means being the follower before you're being a leader. Let's see. I would say, so the way you work with people is important. Getting feedback is important. We've gone through the time thing. I would say frame things in terms of accomplishment. And so one book that's good for a ruler is the 12-week year, because it breaks your year into 4 separate, it's almost like 4 years in one. But rulers love accomplishment. And so if you can feel like you're accomplishing things, you'll feel like you're winning. If you feel like you're winning, you'll get momentum. If you get the momentum, that's contagious. And that contagion that's what we need in every organization. All of us need it and want it. So leading with confidence and authority is who you are at your best. Trampling other people and being forceful and rigid is who you are at the worst. Domineering, that's who you are at your worst. By the way, great examples of ruler type personalities, no surprise. Queen Elizabeth, Winston Churchill, Donald Trump, Mufasa, Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada, right? Rulers can be good or they can be the opposite. And so determine, I would actually, my request of you is to, if you are the ruler personality, find a ruler to follow. Find someone that you can emulate. Find someone that you can study. You're not going to be exactly like General Patton, but you might, right? You might be able to pull some things from them. You might not be exactly like, I don't think Elon Musk is necessarily a leader or a ruler, but find a ruler that you feel like fits in your aspirational self, and learn from them and start to put things that they've done and lessons they've learned into play. Find leaders who've written books and learn and grow from it. So that's it for the ruler. We're going to come back in for the other 2 archetypes that are part of the strategist group on the next episode. So we will break these into separate podcasts. So we will have the hero and the sage. So stay tuned. And guys, play from your strengths. You be you. That's going to do it for this episode. My hope is to encourage you to look, to think. You be you, my friend. Take that gift, shine it up, bring it to the world, because we need your magic. If you love this, if you like this, if you feel like you want to join a part of this, you can go over to schoolofprofessionaldesign.com and you can join us, where we have regular classes, coaching, and meetings and materials to help you stay on purpose and to live and work by your design. See you on the next episode.